So today we talked about how to convert from one length to another in just conventional units, not metric. For example, how to convert from inches to feet and feet to yards and things like that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. But at the beginning of this, or at this point in the video, there's an annotation that demonstrates a trick that I used in class to determine what operation to use. It makes it very, very easy. And if you're not familiar with that, I would recommend that you check out that video. It's about 1.5 minutes, and it just shows you something you can do with your arms that will show you if you multiply or divide to find the conversion. So let's do these problems. This first one is 60 inches. We want to convert that to feet. Now, are we going from small to big or big to small? Well, inches are smaller than feet, so we're going from small to big. So if I do that with my arms, I will find that I need to divide. So I just write down 60 inches, I divide, I know I need to divide, and then I look up how many inches are in a foot, which we will always give to you on the 5th grade level. You don't have to memorize these. And that's 12, and 60 divided by 12 is 5 feet. So this would be 5. Now, our next problem is feet to yards, or yards to feet. Actually, they just put the blank in the beginning. So I'm gonna switch this around. 7 yards equals blank feet. Now, if we're going from yards to feet, yards are bigger than feet, so that's big to small. If you do that with, if you show that with your hand, with your arms, you'll know that you need to multiply 7 yards by how many feet are in a yard. So how many feet are in a yard? 3. 7 times 3 is 21 feet. So that's 21. And now we have miles to yards. So that's miles are definitely bigger than yards. So that's big to small, which is multiplying. So 4 miles times, well, how many yards are in a mile? 1,760. So I just multiply those two. Times 4. 0 times 4 is 0. 6 times 4 is 24. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 2 is 30. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 7. And that gives me 7,000, I didn't give us much room here, 7,040 yards in 4 miles. And now we have 120 inches equals blank feet. So inches to feet is small to big. Inches are smaller, so that's division. So we have 120 inches, and we're dividing. And how many inches are in a foot? 12. And I can do that one in my head. 120 divided by 12 is 10, so it's 10 feet. Now, I have 46 feet, converting that to yards with maybe some leftover feet. So feet to yards is small to big, that is division. So 46 divided by, how many feet in a yard? 3 feet. So I divide. 3 goes into 4 one time. I subtract, bring down the 6. 3 goes into 16 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. And I have a remainder of 1. Well, this is the leftover inches, or feet, excuse me, feet. These are the leftover feet. When I divide feet into how many yards, or feet are in a yard, I get 15 yards with 1 leftover foot. So that's what remainder means. It means what's left over. 42 yards into feet. So yards to feet, it's big to small. So that is multiplication. And how many yards, how many feet are in yards, or in 1 yard? That's 3. So I multiply that by 3. 126 feet. 126 feet. Now we have these problems down here. We have these types of problems on the homework where it gives you it gives you two amounts and you have to tell which one's bigger. Well, the problem is one's in feet and one's in yards. I can't just look at the numbers and say, well, 8's bigger than 3. I have to change either feet to yards or yards to feet. Usually I'll take the bigger one and make it convert it to the smaller one. So I'm going to take 3 yards. I'm going to change it to feet. So yards to feet, that's big to small. That's multiplication. And how many yards are, or how many feet are in a yard? That's 3, and I get 9. So this is actually, this can be expressed as 9 feet. Now they're both feet. 8 feet and 9 feet. Well, obviously 9 feet is bigger, so that is a less than symbol. Okay, now I have 2 miles equals 10,500 feet. Okay, so I'm going to change miles to feet. So 2 miles. So miles to feet, that would be big to small, so that's multiplying. And how many feet in a mile? 5,280 according to this chart. So let me multiply that out. I get 10,560. So this is 10,560 feet versus 10,500 feet, so this is bigger. And let's see. Now we have a kind of a complicated one. We have 3 yards, 2 feet, and on one side, and 132 inches on the other side. So I don't know how many inches are in a yard according to this chart. You could probably figure it out, but then you have these leftover feet, and it kind of makes it complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this all into feet first. Okay? Then I'm going to take that and change that to inches. So 3 yards. So that means there's 3 yards and then 2 feet left over. So I change this to feet, and then I add these extra feet. So 3 yards. Yards to feet are big to small. So that's multiplication. How many feet in a yard? 3. So that equals 9. Now I add these 2 extra feet. That gives me 11 feet. So I can change this to 11 feet. Well, I still have feet and inches here. So I need to change 11 feet into inches. So 11 feet. 11 feet. Feet to inches is big to small. That's multiplication. And how many inches are in a foot? That's 12. So I'm going to multiply 12 times 11. 1 times 12 is 12. Scratch, nothing to scratch, lay an egg. 12 times 1 is 12. I add these together, and this is actually 132 inches. And the other side is, when I convert this to inches, it's the same as this. They're equal. And so that's how you do a problem like that.